I think it is important that people got to understand the politics of what's going on today. If you got a lot of brothers and sisters saying that we not African, um, uh, we here in America, then you got to know the politics of what's going on here in America. If we're talking reparations, we definitely got to know the politics. You got to know the moves of the president. You got to know the moves of what's going on at the UN. You guys should be well abreast on the 2030 agenda, everything. If you want reparations, you have to be proactive in understanding what's going on, right? So hold on for a second, 1 second.
Salutes to all of y'all. Like I said, hit that like and share button. We about to bless y'all tonight, man, because it's a lot need to be clarified. It's so much going on. There's so much confusion with this FBA thing, man. And this one video is just going to clarify stuff. FBA, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta be proactive and what's actually going on, man, because when you called me today, you was hearing that people say that Tariq Nasheed and FBA was aligning with MAGA people and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, most people are ignorant. They don't understand. Just because those two white supremacists mention foundational Black Americans, that don't mean anything. That just means that they're watching us the same way they always been watching us. They're trying to commandeer our talking points the same way they always do, the same way they stole woke, the same way they stole everything else. So when James Fishback gets on Tucker Carlson's show and he mentions Byron Donald, who is a well-known Sambo school sellout immigrant that's against our people, he's definitely a tether, right? That spent his whole time here talking against Black Americans, right? So when James Fishback called him a slave to the corporations, I'm not mad because Byron Donald is not an ally to us. He's shown himself to be an enemy to us. Him and his W wife. Everything that he does has been diametrically opposed. Now they was cool with Byron Donald until he wanted to run for governor and be their boss. Now they're exposing him. But this is the caveat. When Fishback and Tucker invoke foundational Black American talking points, that means that they're well aware of what FBA is and what the talking points are. So now we can use that against them because they can't act like they don't understand what we're talking about. Because in order to bring this Black guy, in order to bring down one of their tools, they're invoking that to destroy him because they know that he don't have the backing of us because he sold us out. He was over there with them, backing them, using all their talking points against our community. But now that they don't need their tools no more, they're breaking them.
Yep. So, I got something for you because when I watched this Tariq clip here, and I'll play it for you real quick and give you a little bit of his response. I know you already reviewed it, but I just want to catch the people up real quick to the clip we talking about and what Tariq was on when he saw it.
Here we go.
And they called you a racist for that?
They did. Which is actually quite interesting because I got a call from the Foundational Black American Society here in Florida who reminded me that Byron's mother is Jamaican, he is Panamanian, and they found it quite insulting in their words that he would try to claim victimhood of slavery, not a single descendant of American slaves in his family.
I like those foundational guys.
They're so good.
Tariq Nasheed and all. I mean, I don't agree with everything, but they've got a perspective. If your family's been here 400 years, and the descendants of a lot of American slaves or families have been here 400 years, I don't know. I think that gives. I'll listen to you. Like you've 100%. You've got a point of view that is legitimate. I think.
Yeah.
Fair use, by the way.
And they're unequivocally heritage Americans.
That's for sure.
100%.
They're definitely heritage Americans, if anyone is. And, someone rolls in from Ghana and gets an MSNBC slot and starts speaking on behalf of Black people. It's like, shut up, honey. You've got nothing to do with this.
Right.
That's literally a fair perspective, right? I think.
And so it's good to actually see them call them out for that. That's actually cultural appropriation. Appropriating the struggle of slavery.
I totally agree.
And the struggle of slavery was real. I don't think Republicans ever want to really whitewash that. It's real, right? But for
Byron, against slavery.
We're against it.
Whether it's in the, West Bank or here or anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah, against it.
And so for Byron's group, his team, to call me and essentially our entire supporting base racists for saying that you're a slave when quite literally you took $45 million. You won't tell us what you agreed to take that money.
So this is heavy. They're throwing Byron under the bus. This is heavy.
This early in a primary, which is unprecedented. You know this, how unprecedented that kind of money is in an uncontested primary until now. But secondarily, to actually go out and try to gas.
Okay, so I'm going to just stop it here and I'm going to summarize what's going on the rest of the way so we can speak on it. Tariq saying they throwing Byron under the bus because FBA is delineating. He's celebrating this. This is a victory moment to him because he's saying all of this is happening because FBA has decided to delineate. And when I was talking to the OG George, I was just saying to myself, it may be kind of dangerous to steer that narrative to the people. Salutes to Tariq because, I mean, he's a powerful brother for building his FBA thing, but the whole thing is, I don't think these white guys are doing this because we delineate, and I want you to go into the reason why now they want to, you know what I'm saying, hop on the FBA bandwagon. Because, again, can you explain the breaking, when you say break your tools, can you go in that for him one time? Because that's what's going on here. But salutes, like, to Tariq saying this is happening because we delineating. It's a lot happening because we delineating, but I don't know if this happening because we delineating. These guys got, after hearing more, I'm thinking that they just, like you said, they want to throw this dude under the bus and can't do it directly. So you want to use us. Then the moment you disagree with us, you gonna get somebody and do the same thing, you know, against us. So
yeah, this is the devil's tactic. But when you've been in the devil's punch bowl for so long, you understand his tactics and how it works. We're not moving with emotion, we're moving cerebrally. I expect these W supremacists to do what they do. But
yeah.
Byron Donald deserves everything he get because he's a traitor to our people. And the thing is this: they don't need their tools no more because their commander in chief is in power. So they're not letting. See, I don't understand something. He's trying to run for governor, Sanchez, of a state. You know how powerful that is. Sometimes that's almost as powerful as the president. They're not letting no immigrant in NIGGA run be no governor or no Florida. Is you crazy? Especially somebody that was one of their tools. That's not gonna happen. The same way, what's the other guy, the black sellout in South Carolina, Tim Scott? They're not letting him be no governor of South Carolina. What you think this is, man? No, they'll use you as one of their mascots to propagate their bull crap until they don't need you no more. Now they don't need you. But there's a lot of things that's happening here on the landscape where people got to really like educate themselves. Because I see a lot of black people, talk about FBA and they look at FBA as just a group. And I know that people are ignorant and they don't know history. First of all, Tariq Nasheed didn't start FBA. He didn't start FBA. He didn't even start the talking points. This stuff was being taught 30, 40 years ago, you know, by other elders. Tariq, even the word delineation, separate. I just showed Sanchez it, right? Dr. Claude Anderson, Elder Smalls, they was already teaching this. A lot of people was getting at Elder Smalls because, you know, the stance that he took on Tariq, but make no mistake about it, he's still one of the contributing factors to the talking points that we use today, right? All this stuff can be substantiated through video. Tariq Nasheed, FBA is a lineage. It's not a group or a people. It's just like what people tend to do. If you see somebody that claim FBA talking some old coon stuff or talking some old reckless stuff, you say, look at those FBAs. No, FBA is a lineage of like 60 million people. You got gay FBAs, you got Democrat FBAs, you got Republican FBAs, you got Sambo, coons, killers, doctors, lawyers, hardworking people, married people. It's all part of a lineage, the same way it would be with any other group. So one person does not speak for the whole group, and everybody don't agree, right? It's just a lineage. It's not an organization. So we got to get out of that way. We got to get out of that way of thinking. The issue is you're trying to condition a people to a new way of thinking, who's been conditioned to think, to see the world through a certain lens. We're trying to create a new way of them, a new lens of them to see it through. So that's the conundrum, that's the struggle, right? And a lot of people are used to coming here and benefiting off of us because we've been operating through a certain lens. We're changing that. We're shutting the door now. We're shutting the windows. We're saying, no, we finally listening to what Dr. Claude Anderson was telling us 30 years ago.
And we can play that clip whenever you want. If you cue it up, we'll play it. Hey, and
Right.
just to what you saying, it ain't delineation. They breaking their tools, but at the same time, you said they can't act like they don't know now. They've proven with this clip, they know what's up, so we can use that moving forward. I agree with that.
Let me say this too, because somebody said FBA is a small group. That's the way it looks to me. Well, what is African American then? That would be equivalent to the same thing. Then, like y'all, a lot of y'all are not that intelligent. Like y'all say stupid stuff and be thinking it's a flex. Like we've been supporting this Democratic Party for the last 60 years, and we've been gentrified out of communities that we don't that we live in. We're being money has been allocated and outsourced to all these nonprofits and NGOs and different organizations that never benefited the Black community. They bringing in immigrants and pushing you out, making them a larger voting class. Everything that Dr. Claude Anderson told us. We already know that the Republicans historically was always racist towards us. We know these things. So what we're doing now is going to the middle of the table and saying, yo, this is who we are. This is where we stand. We're changing the whole landscape and the whole thought process towards us. We're reclaiming ourselves, and whichever people meet. Hold on one second, my son.
Salutes to the chat. Maybe at the end we'll allow y'all to call in one at a time. I don't know if we want to do a panel. It's up to George, but hey, George, you can land your plane, man, and I got questions whenever you want to play clips.
I just want to establish this before we start playing the videos. I want to establish some groundwork so people can understand. Because when we play this, you guys going to get a chance to see. Because one thing about the internet is a lot of people do a lot of talking, but they don't study the politics. They don't study the things that go on behind the curtain. So the thing is this, right? The thing is this. We haven't supported the Republican Party since the 50s and 60s. We've been over here with these Democrats, and these Democrats is just as racist. They not for us, and we got the history to see it. Those DEI programs didn't benefit us. When you deal with the 14th Amendment and all those different amendments, they didn't have those things. Wasn't on a book specifically for us. That spoke specifically for us. It went to all people of America and thereof, and people of color. Right? That's why Kamala Harris can come on there and say, I'm not going to do nothing just for Black Americans, right? Because of the wording and the way things were worded. So now we're taking all this stuff back. And so what I'm telling you now is a lot of y'all are ignorant. And I understand my people, like I told you, Sanchez, the biggest detractors to FBA is going to be other FBAs. It's not going to be the white man. It's not going to be immigrants. It's going to be other foundational Black Americans that's used to being African American, that's used to being in the church, and they're used to the old way of doing things. They don't understand change. So they got a democratic way of thinking, and they don't want to change. So our biggest struggle is going to be is trying to transform the minds of our own people to get on board with what we're trying to do.
And let me add,
the biggest detractors.
Do you think it's a democratic mindset or an anti-establishment mindset? Because I would say, like, after Obama, like ever since the 60s, like when we was on a Republican Party in the 60s, like you said, I don't know the fate of that, but I know we've been going back and forth to each party, and we still ain't really where we want to be. So I think at this point, people are just anti-establishment or just have given up hope in the system. And I think a lot of our people are saying, look, don't give up hope yet. We haven't given these guys the same opportunity we've given those guys. Let's be fair. And then after that, if it don't pop, fuck it. Is that safe?
Remember, somebody said, well, if African American FBA is the same. No, I'm not saying it was the same. What I'm saying is, if FBA is a group, then what is African American? African American, anybody can be African American. That's why everybody can come and latch on to what we were doing. Now I'm gonna play a video with Trump. What Trump did was, and a lot of people don't use their brain. He separated us from everybody else. And one thing he said on the podium. But if you're smart and you're listening without emotion, See, they bank on us being too emotional. We got to start looking at things with a blank canvas.
We do.
Yeah, we're too emotional. And we like to fight each other. Oh, nigga, you don't know what you talking about. Fair enough. Some of y'all gonna have to get left behind, man. That's just the way it is. Everybody not gonna get it. But I'm telling you, brother Sanchez, and to my brothers and sisters in the chat, our biggest detractors is going to be our own people in the beginning. Because they do not listen, they don't care about the things immigrants do. But anything that we do when we stand up for ourselves, they hate when we stand up for ourselves. It's our own people, bro. Our own people. They're gonna come against you, bro. So we have to come together now and start creating things where our people can benefit from. Now, with Trump pulling out of 66 of these organizations at the UN, right? And he's pulling money back from Africa, because what Africa was trying to do, Africa was trying to create this world reform to get reparations. They taken this argument to the World Court, and Africans are speaking on behalf of all Africans of African descent. Mind you, we're not in the African Union, but they speaking for us and everybody else to try to get reparations from all these countries. And Trump pulled back from that, right? Trump pulled out of that and said they're taking funding away from all, like 66 different organizations right now, right? And they bringing money back to America, while at the same time cutting off money that went to billions of dollars was going to all these NGOs around the world that was siphoning money back to their nonprofits, but none of this stuff benefited Black Americans, right? It was going outsourced outside of America, while at the same time, these damn Africans was trying to get reparations on behalf of us. It's crazy. Like, this thing is crazy, crazy.
And we're going to play that clip for them too, so they can see it for themselves. You can, whenever you get the first one queued up, let me know.
Yeah, I have it ready in a minute. I just wanted to warm people up. And how many people we got in here? I was trying to, filibuster a little bit just to let a little more people come in, but I want to get them so they can understand, because this is the thing. We got to understand that a lot of these countries need Black Americans to strengthen their claims for reparations, because we are the ones that move the needle. We are the most influential. We are the ones that they say was stolen from a land, and our culture, our language, everything was stolen from us. Everything. So they need to use us as the catalyst, while at the same time creating programs that don't benefit us. So this is what they've been doing at the UN on the world stage. So when people got to pay attention, man, people got to pay attention to what's going on. That's why a lot of times a lot of y'all be talking. I don't even want to talk to y'all because I know that you don't know what you're talking about, right? You're not studying behind the curtain, behind the scenes, and understanding what's really going on, right? And then you're looking at Tariq Nasheed, but you're not studying Dr. Claude Anderson. Tariq Nasheed is carrying the baton of what Dr. Claude Anderson been teaching for the last 60 years. He been saying this, right? So you know what we're gonna do, Sanchez? To get them to understand, we're gonna go backwards. We're gonna play Dr. Claude Anderson first, and then we're gonna play the other part. So that way people could see, they could see I can't even say the word, the delineation movement. They can see what happened. I think my screen is still shared, am I? Or do I gotta reshare it?
You gotta reshare it.
Okay. Let me go over here.
Thank you, Faith Garza, for becoming a member. Appreciate the love.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. Let's start here. Let's start it up. And let's listen. This is an old video from years back.
Anything when you were number 2.
Oh, wait, matter of fact, I'm gonna start here. First.
And $1 short.
This lady right here was lying, but we ain't even gonna play her yet. We're gonna just go to what's her name? Hold on.
We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years, approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a 3rd grade education will tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2,
You said something earlier in an answer where you said that you talked about native blacks. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus someone that comes here from, you are delineating native black, you are delineating native, you are delineating sounds as if you are delineating native someone that comes. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus.
Hold on. I had to do that because, you know, some of our people are slow, and I wanted them to hear that 82,000 times so they could stop with this bullshit, right, about Tariq Nasheed. So, Sanchez, what did he just say?
He said we was delineating. And how old is this?
This is old.
So this delineation conversation is way older than Tariq, though, for real.
Yes, yes. And that other video was from 30-something years ago. So let's proceed. So so some of y'all in the chat, y'all can stop talking stupid shit because you don't know what you're talking about.
Receipts.
Someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica or wherever they may they may come from. The purpose of that is what? Because you're on the surface, it would be like, hey, everybody here that's black gets treated a certain way. Why are you making that delineation? That is an excellent point. You know why? Because you see, those people coming in from Jamaica or coming in from Africa, they have not been treated like black folk in this country. That's the first thing. And secondly, historically, they haven't had those historical experiences. They come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa. They can go back anytime they want. But the black people in this country are exceptional people. Nobody's been mistreated, maltreated like that. The black folk are exceptional. They're the only people that came here out of forcefully. One. Two, they're the only people that denied their humanity. Three, they were the only people that denied a right to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Four, they were the only people that denied the right to participate in government. Five, they were the only people that denied the right to vote. Six, they were the only people that denied the right to have an education. Seven, they were the only people that denied the right to have a business. Eight, they were the only people that participated in every war that this country has had since its founding, but whose mother country has never been against this country. All those immigrants come from countries where they fought America, and they came in. And there's seven, that they're the oldest and most patriotic people in the country. Not the Confederates in the South. They're not the most patriotic people waving the Confederate flag. The most patriotic people in this country are black people, native blacks, because you see 99% of all those blacks have been direct descendants of slaves. They've been here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived in this country. They are special people. And because they're special people, they need to be recognized, appreciated, and reparated for what they've done in this country, to build this country. They're the ones that built the bridges, the roads, cut the timber, the trees, and cleared the land, raised the tobacco, cotton, indigo. They're the people that fought the great in every war to protect this country. The people coming from Africa or coming from Jamaica didn't. They came here voluntarily. And the most important point on this is if you lump them with black folk, then you give the white society a justification to say we don't owe black folk anything. Mm-hmm. Because you see, the blackness that's made, the blackness, black people's blackness is more than just color. It is their heritage, it's their history, it's their code of conduct, and more importantly, it is their badge of honor, and it's what it symbolizes the indebtedness that this country has to them. This country does not have an indebtedness to people coming from Africa. They don't have an indebtedness to people coming in from the Bahamas. If you lump black folk in there, you deprive black folk of the benefit, the debt that's owed them. Don't do that.
Listen, and this is why I love Dr. Clark Anderson. He speaks truth and knowledge. And not just that, he actually gives you the blueprint. He gives you the blueprint.
My fault. I was getting my food. Now, this is the thing. Remember what I told you, Sanchez. Remember what I told you. A lot of these immigrants, because not all immigrants are bad people. You got a lot of immigrants that are cool, good people, thorough, right? But the way this country is set up, most of the things that we fight for and vote for, they vote against because their lifestyle is predicated on our dysfunction. That's the way that they set it up. They set it up where they benefit from the so-called American dream. They give them housing, they give them money, they allow them to go to school for free. They have a lot of things set up for these immigrants when they come into the country over you, right? So there's a lot of things that's set in place that we got to understand what we're up against. So either they may, so what happens is, and then when they're in a community, they come into your community and open up businesses, they open up shop. If you had your stuff together as FBAs, they wouldn't make no money because the whites didn't want them in their community. So they draw us against each other. But these people coming from these third world countries, they understand what it's like to be poor and what the white man has done, but they still side with him when they come here because he's giving them everything that they got in order to live the American dream. So this thing is wild, and they got it set up like it's a game, man. But we got to understand the politics behind certain things. So I just need people to stop saying that Tariq Nasheed created an organization because the talking points was already there from the elders before him. And not just this elder, Dr. Amos Wilson created the talking points. It's not, these are talking points that was already on the table, man. So a lot of y'all gotta stop talking because you do black people a disservice, man. And it's honestly, it's actually disrespectful. If it's some things that you just don't understand, sometimes just sit this one out and see what's going on. Because y'all don't be knowing what y'all talking about. Right? But then we get down. You want to go right into it, Sanchez?
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
All right. So now let's get into the politics part of it, right? What's going on with behind the scenes on what Trump is doing, pulling out of certain things, and what the African Union is doing.
The states from
Hold on. We're gonna play this. It's gonna play for about a good 6 minutes. So I need you guys to pay attention, please. Pay attention. We not five. We old school, so we got longer attention spans than our children. Pay attention, because this is very important to FBA business.
The Climate Treaty and dozens of other groups dealing with the UN. So U.S. President Donald Trump has withdrawn the United States from dozens of international organizations, including many that work to combat climate change. Oh, God. Now, 66 affected bodies are UN related, and Donald Trump administration is calling it not only woke, but racist. Yeah.
President Donald Trump has signed a major executive order withdrawing the United States from a controversial United Nations forum that he says promotes a global diversity, equity, and inclusion reparations agenda. On January the 7th, 2026, President Donald Trump issued an executive order directing the United States to withdraw from the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, a body established to elevate issues affecting people of African heritage worldwide. According to US officials, the decision was prompted by what they describe as the forum's advocacy for race-based policies and a global reparations agenda, positions the Trump administration says conflict with the US Constitution's Equal Protection Clause and American values. The administration previously accused the forum of advancing racial grievances and having victim-based social policies. US officials also argued that the UN body violated the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. State Department spokesperson Tommy Pigott declared that America will no longer lend its credibility to racist organizations. The United States is proudly withdrawing from racist organizations such as this forum. He added, radical activists who embrace DEI ideology and seek to compel the United States to adopt policies mandating race-based wealth redistribution in organizations such as the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent will no longer be entertained. The UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent was set up to address issues including racial inequality, discrimination, and historical injustices. Critics in Washington have taken particular aim at agenda items they claim to go beyond traditional diplomacy, including proposals for financial compensation for descendants of slavery and colonialism, as well as calls for reparatory justice in emerging fields like artificial intelligence. The body had previously argued that only reparatory justice can address what is described as technology-enabled racism in fields such as artificial intelligence. The forum's supporters argue that these discussions are part of a long-running UN effort to confront systemic discrimination and uplift historically marginalized communities, a message that's at odds with the White House's framing.
This move is part of a wider rollback of US participation in international institutions, a strategy that has seen Washington exit dozens of global organizations and treaties this week alone. In the same executive action, the Trump administration also pulled the US out of 66 international bodies, including climate, health, human rights, and development organizations that the White House labels as contrary to American interests. Senior officials have defended these decisions, saying that they will refocus US resources on national priorities rather than global agendas.
Now, here's the thing. I support and agree with President Donald Trump and the Trump administration on this. Why?
Hold on, let me go forward.
Because it does not, typically Black Americans, we weren't seeing.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention because this is important, right? So I got to lay all this out and then we can talk about it afterwards because you got to see how this comes together.
From this, we weren't going to never benefit from this. Now, I want to highlight the executive order. So this is the executive order that President Trump signed on January 7th, withdrawing the United States from international organizations, conventions, and treaties that are contrary to the interests of the United States. I'm not going to read all this. You guys can go to the whitehouse.gov and read it, but I wanted to highlight the list of the said organizations. So these are the organizations from which the United States shall withdraw. Carbon-Free Energy Compact, which is BS. Commission, Environmental Corporation, whatever. Freedom Online Coalition, who cares? But I want to scroll down, right? And bring your attention to this. Right here. Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. So when you Google, oh, Trump says no to reparations and withdraw from the United States, he's talking about reparations for Africa. He's like, hell to the no. The United States is not an American Express card. We are not paying for reparations for Africa or the Caribbean or South America or anywhere else in this world. And I agree with him because I looked up Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. And this is what I found. Now, who and what is this organization called Permanent Forum on People of African Descent? Who are they? What do they do? Who do they represent? Are Black Americans included in this? I don't think so. This is clearly just for the continent of Africa. So scrolling down here, you see all of these, different non-governmental organizations. So it's just one organization after another. You have the main organization, Permanent Forum for People of African Descent. And when you go to that organization, they have dozens of other organizations. One in particular, LGBTQIA plus human rights defenders. Scroll down a little bit, and you see the Pan-African Development Forum. And we all know that Pan-African has never benefited Black Americans. And then I see here, Toronto Black Farmers and Food Growers Collective. Well, what about the Black farmers here in the United States? I don't see no organizations listed here in the UN for that. We are not included in this. What do they call themselves? People of African Descent.
Heads of state and government are
Watch this, y'all.
Here at the African Union Commission.
Watch this.
In Addis Ababa. This year, the continent has set for itself a theme that will focus on justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations. The African Union seeks to recover what is owed to Africans, both on the continent and in the diaspora, acknowledging the profound harm caused by the transatlantic slave trade, slavery, colonialism.
Sanchez, how can the African Union go to the World Court to argue on our behalf.
Yeah, that's major.
See, and this is the stuff where people argue on FBA, they miss. They overlook this on purpose too. They overlook this on purpose. This is important.
And neo-colonialism. Western countries, including Portugal, the United Kingdom, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and the United States of America, played major roles in the slave trade. But how will the African Union achieve the long-sought justice? Some countries in Africa are already demanding what is rightfully theirs from former colonial powers. The DRC, for instance, wants compensation for Belgium.
You know, my thing about this right here,
racism and
I'll say one quick thing about this. It don't make no sense for no Africans on the motherland to get reparations if they was given, because nothing happened to you. I mean, you stayed there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand. If you took some of us from West Africa, everyone that was displaced, distraught, and they became a whole nother citizen over here through ethnogenesis, let's go with that. How would you want to argue reparations on their behalf and ask for some, but you didn't even want to come over there and unite them people back with their family, their tribes, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy too.
I'll say this, right? I'll put it this way. South Africa and West African countries may have a legitimate right, against the Belgium and the French because of what they've done, right? King Leopold in the Congo and stuff like that. But they ain't got nothing to do with us. Why are you arguing on behalf of the diaspora? Excuse me? We're not in the African Union benefiting from what they're doing. We can't leave here and go to Africa and get immediate citizenship. How are you speaking for us? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But this is what FBA is bringing to light. So y'all got to stop fighting, man, because the Democrats ain't doing this. The Democrats want this to happen because they want to phase us out. Keep going.
In the DRC, Namibian communities whose ancestors were brutally killed in the genocide perpetrated by German colonial forces and had their property seized more than a century ago, want Germany to honor and formally apologize and pay reparations. France, which dominated more than 20 countries in Africa, is losing its colonial grip. Countries like Ivory Coast, Chad, Senegal, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have cut military ties with France and ordered French troops to leave their territories. In Kenya, the scars of British colonial atrocities during the Mau Mau struggle for independence remain alive more than 6 decades on. The African Union says colonial powers that took away what belongs to Africa should be made to pay. It says continued recognition and documentation of the impacts of colonialism and slavery on African societies are crucial for the evidence to remain. According to the African Union, compensatory payments to African nations and communities affected by colonial exploitation would involve colonial powers investing in infrastructure, education, and healthcare to support economic development. Africa wants land to be returned or communities to be compensated for lost territories. The continent.
Now, Sanchez, who representing us at that table? See what I'm saying?
Right. Nobody.
They wouldn't even let Haiti in the African Union. Like, are you? But again, this is the stuff that's going on behind the scenes while everybody's saying FBA is a group. Well, are you paying attention to what's going on the world stage?
Is demanding that lost African heritage be restored through funding for cultural institutions, education programs, and the return of cultural artifacts. All this, the African Union says, can be done by involving diplomatic pressure or even legal actions at the international level. This is one of the continent's key priorities in 2025.
Remember this? The African Union? I did a show on this because the African Union had this year of reparations in 2025, justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations, which excluded us here in America. Do you guys remember this? Because now this is another subsidiary from the African Union. The African Union 6th Region USA. See, this is how they were going to incorporate so-called Black Americans with their Pan-African Black diaspora reparations claim, because they need us to really make it happen. But Black Americans, we weren't falling for it. So this isn't going nowhere. And it's definitely not going to be funded to any type of capacity under the Trump administration. But again, this still does not benefit, nor has it represented Black Americans. Why? Because you have a lot of Black immigrants here in America that's going to latch on to our claim of reparations. See, they're going to call themselves Americans because they're American citizens, but their lineage is not of the United States of America. Africa can never and will never.
Hold on, that's important what you just said. Based off of what the African Union wants to do, people of African descent, if you have Africans and Caribbean people that live here, based off of that way of doing it, they can latch right onto our claim because they can come in as African descent or POC. They can come in like that, and now everything that Dr. Carl Anderson was laying out, they could throw that out. They could just come in and benefit from everything that our grandparents struggled for when they wasn't even here for it, because it's of African descent. And this is the game that they playing. So when you guys say, why y'all want to separate, this is why we got to separate, y'all. This is why. Stop fighting so much and just let's just listen to each other. Let's listen some more real quick.
Get reparations. For anything, Africa needs to pay reparations to Black Americans. African Union 6th Region Global promotes investments. Again, has nothing to do with Black America. So when I say that I support President Donald Trump withdrawing from dozens, over 60 organizations from the UN because they support DEI, the reason why I support that, because I know for a fact it does not benefit Black Americans, and I'm only concerned about America and Black Americans. The African Union does not represent Black Americans. The African Union does not have a special place for us there. But they're going to, again, like I said, use our suffering, our history of our suffering here in America, use our plight here in America so that they can get their hands on billions of dollars of American money. But Trump is putting a stop to that. But then some people may say, well, he's against reparations. We're never going to get it under a Republican or under a Trump administration. I'll get to that a little bit later because it is what he said. The 14th.
All over the country. Hold on. Sanchez. Before we play this last part, okay. I need y'all to pay attention, right? I need y'all to pay attention. Now, the screen's still up, right?
Yeah, it's still up.
Okay.
Hit the likes, y'all.
What Trump is about to say is something that no other president has ever said since the 14th Amendment was created. And most people missed it because you was too much partying, dancing, being online, being entertained. You wasn't paying attention. And this ain't for everybody because a lot of our brothers and sisters was paying attention. But a lot of people that's detractors wasn't. What Trump is about to say, he automatically separated us from everybody else and made it specifically about Black Americans. Specific. Right? Because we were the only group that this was happening to, and we were the only group that this was created for. Right? Let's proceed.
Such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tied up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades. And we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Great people. Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves. It was so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our...
What Donald Trump just did was something unprecedented, because what happens now is he's opened up the door for the reparations claim in America, because that's admitting what happened to us and how they also used the 14th Amendment to actually the way it was written and worded to make us victims of it, because things that were supposed to be specifically for us went to other groups historically. They went to other groups came here and benefited, and they got monies allocated to them that was never supposed to be for them. And they conditioned our people to be okay with it. So when we stand up for ourselves, our biggest detractor now is our own people. Because we looked at, oh man, you a troublemaker. Oh, no, we're not starting trouble. The president just told you what it was for. And everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. Those other groups wasn't here getting their heads kicked in. We was. So they're playing games, but this is the thing. Make no mistake about it. The Republicans are racist, white supremacist dogs as well. We don't have no friends or no allies, but you use your leverage that you have to force people to acquiesce to your demands. That's the way the world works. Everything is looking to eat something here if you can't protect your interests. So don't just think that, oh, well, they just outline with, no, he's a devil. Make no mistake about it. They're not our friends. We never had friends here. But we still live in America. We still get up and go to work every day. We pay taxes. We got to still live here. So we live here. We got to do business here. So we got to come together and say, this is who we are now. We're reclaiming ourselves, and this is our stance. And this is what we got to do. And the doors are opening. It's just our job to walk into it. Because if you leave it up to a lot of these other groups, they want to roll us backwards, man. And they want our communities overrun by Mexicans and Guatemalans and everybody else. And they want you to shut up and just be African American. While the Africans come here and while the Africans go to the World Court and get your reparations on behalf of you, and while these Democrats and all these other groups, what Dr. Carlson and Fishback said, make you a fourth-class citizen and treat you like crap. Because going forward by 2035, the Latinos is here in large numbers, and they can't stand black people. You think they're gonna hire you? You think the white man was bad? Man, y'all better stop playing, man. Go ahead, brother Sanchez. I heard you say something.
So I've seen a lot of clips that was saying how Trump already put it in play that African descent, people of African descent, will not get reparations. And I think she played that on the first clip. But do they think that... Say that again?
No, I'm talking to my son coming in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so then on the first clip, she specified that people of African descent can't get reparations, right? That was on the first little clip she had.
Yeah, yes.
So they think we're African descent though, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing. When in that thing, people of African descent, they was talking about Africa and reparations to Africa. That's what he cut. That's when she showed the list of all those organizations. She cut that money that was going to those NGOs. All that money that was being allocated and siphoned overseas. He cut that money. And they bringing the money back to America. I'm gonna put the links to all that stuff inside the chat. They cut that because the African Union created this thing of African descent. The African Union is calling that. Trump cut funding to that. It had nothing to do with us.
I see is that I'm glad you cleared that up. I'm gonna give a shout out to Faith Gaza. They are admitting that we are not from Africa. Okay. Yeah, that's facts. Africans admit, a lot of Africans admit that. I'm gonna give a shout out to Mr. G. Said patiently waiting for FBA to now ask for real tangibles. And then let me give a shout out to Mr. G again. He said, so the people whitewashing and banning books on the history of FBA are going to pay you based on those stories they're banning in school? Wow. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but I think George got some more clips to play. I'm gonna deal with what you're saying though, Mr. G. Yeah, we'll deal with it.
Let me see. I think Carl Anderson was winning again. Hold on. Let's see.
An open checkbook under the Trump administration.
That's historically, you haven't had those historical scripts, and they come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa. They can go back anytime they want. The people coming from Africa or come from Jamaica, they come here voluntarily. And the most important point on this is if you lump them with black folk, then you give the white society a justification to say we don't owe black folk anything.
Oh, hold on, he played that. I want to go back to the question that you asked, so that way we can get some clarity to it, Sanchez, with the Africans.
And to the brother, the thing is this with the whole, do we think we're gonna get it or not? I was saying this earlier, you don't gotta think we're gonna get it or not to advocate for it and to say that we deserve it though, you know.
Right. Let me see. Let's go back here real quick.
The interests of the United States. I'm not gonna read it.
Hold on.
Carbon-free energy.
Wait a minute.
It's not an American Express.
Here we go.
Right here. Permanent form on people of African descent.
That's not us.
So when you Google, Trump says no to reparations and withdraw from the United States, he's talking about reparations for Africa.
That's not us.
Like hell to the no. United States is not an American Express card. We are not paying for reparations for Africa or the Caribbean or South America or anywhere else in this world. And I agree with him because I looked up permanent form for people of African descent. And this is what I found. Now, who and what is this organization called Permanent Forum on People of African Descent? Who are they? What do they do? Who do they represent? Are Black Americans included in this?
Nope.
I don't think so. This is clearly just for the continent of Africa. So scrolling down here, you see all of these, different non-governmental organizations. So it's just one organization after another. You have the main organization, Permanent Forum for People of African Descent. And when you go to that organization, they have dozens of other organizations. One in particular, LGBTQIA plus human rights defenders. Scroll down a little bit and you see the Pan-African Development Forum. And we all know that Pan-African has never benefited Black Americans. And then I see here, Toronto Black Farmers and Food Growers Collective. Well, what about the Black farmers here in the United States? I don't see no organizations listed here in the UN for that. We are not included in this. What do they call themselves? People of African descent.
Heads of state and government are deliberating here at the African Union Commission.
Just one last one.
This year, the continent has set for itself a theme that will focus on justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations. The African Union seeks to recover what is owed to African.
So when he cutting funds, it's the African descent. He's talking about the Africans, not us. We're not a part of that. We have nothing to do with that. We're not in the African Union. We have nothing to do with that. So I'm gonna stop sharing here.
And I just want to say one thing. I'm not, somebody said in all caps, Woody, I think bro Sanchez is gonna start supporting Trump right now. I'm not, because I don't got to. I don't gotta support Trump for him to do what he doing. He doing it with me no matter what I do. So I don't gotta support him, because if they gonna do it, they gonna do it with or without my support, you know.
But see, Sanchez, that right there is the ignorance of our people, man. And why sometimes, man, I lose patience, because to show this, oh, well, you're supporting Trump. Well, we've been supporting the Democrats for so long, and a lot of y'all was going to support Kamala, and you supported Obama and all these other people.
But
you was more supporting these other people.
You right. You right. So but one thing I want to say, and I don't mean to cut you off, not all of them supported the liberals. Some of them just was never voting either way. This is why I'm going to say, I don't think what we doing is supporting Trump. I think that we just listening to what they got to say. Like, it was at the table. You got off on the table. We talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think FBA is like on some MAGA stuff. I just don't see it like that, what they saying with the red hat MAGA type. I don't think I'm supporting Trump.
Hey, Sanchez, where we live at, Sanchez?
In America. In America.
So we live in America, right?
Yeah.
We go to work, and we go to work here. We have children here. We are a part, whether we like it or not, of America's interests, right?
Yeah, that's facts.
So why wouldn't we take part in America's interests where we live at? See, for a long time, it was the Pan-African, it was the Black liberation people that told us, don't take part in America. America's going to fall. We're going back to Africa. We was told that by that. Now if you're no longer going by that, then you have to be a part of America. You have to get in on what's going on in America. So you have to sit down with the devil and all these different groups. And it don't matter. I mean, both sides are devils, but you have to come together as a group and negotiate. Listen, on this planet, everything is looking to eat something. If you take some plants and put it by tobacco plants, the tobacco is going to eat them goddamn plants, right? If you sitting on resources somewhere and you ain't strong enough to come to defend it, somebody coming to take it. If you got a bunch of barley and you need to move it across the waterways I got it right here where I'm at, Sanchez, but I need to move it across the waterways to where you live at. If I ain't got a strong enough Navy and I can't pay them taxes, I can't move that shit. So you have to defend, stand on your square. The problem is we ain't been standing on our square. We've been giving everybody our vote for nothing. We've been hoeing ourselves out. And then they turn our stuff into POC. When I'm telling you right now, Latino community they don't never talk about people of color. They talk about their group and their constituents. They never talk about things on behalf of us, ever. We are the only ones. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know everyone think that Trump is putting America first. I'm going to tell you, I think the left and the right put Israel first too much. But what I will say, I don't think is when it comes down to let's take Israel out of it. Which group undermine us the most and play on our intelligence? That's why I think we seeing a shift toward the right. But some George said earlier, he said that, and this is true, don't forget, y'all, FBA is a lineage, so you can't say FBA is going MAGA now just because just say somebody do support Trump. Let's say you got a brother with an FBA shirt on and a MAGA shirt on. That's them. I don't support Trump, but I support FBA. I support, the lineage. So that's one thing I think we got to keep in mind, too, because if you have Jamaicans, they can be Democrats or Republicans within Jamaican, too.
But we can't. Yeah, we can't. But this is what I'm saying. We done pigeonholed ourselves into this one little box where we can only be one thing. And anything outside of that, then you the enemy. But everybody else can be whatever they want to be. But that what happens is when you got to go outside of yourself, Sanchez, for everything that you need, you've been conditioned to be subordinate to everybody else and look at your own people as nothing. That's what we do to each other because we've been going outside of ourselves to get everything that we need. Now we're closing the door and we're trying to rely on each other. See, because let me tell you something. Israel been running the world. I mean, if y'all want to really go facts, y'all want to go facts. Because I do this. We can go all the way back to the funder of America itself. Who gave the money to Robert Morris to actually fund America, to fund the war? So let me ask you something, Sanchez. Look, and I ain't gonna stay on this. I'm gonna just make it real short and sweet. Because a lot of times they had this Israel argument, and I'd be knowing people don't know what the F they talking about. Let me ask you a question. If you came to me and you had an idea, and right now the idea is just an idea, but we don't know in the next 100 years it's going to turn into a multi-quadrillion-dollar conglomerate, but we don't see it yet. But you got the idea, but you don't have the finances to fund it. You come to me and say, George, man, I got this idea, man. I know it sounds far-fetched, man, but listen, man, we can break off from the Queen, and man, we can establish, this nation here, man. Listen, man, we need, we need to get our own colonies. We need to do. I'm just summarizing it up. And you go to the bank. You go to Haim Solomon. You go to Haim Solomon, and you say, you Robert Morris. Hey, I need some money, man. So I can fund the soldiers, man. And I say, all right, I give you the money, but it's gonna cost you something. You don't give a shit. You try to forge your dream. I give you the money. All these years later, you have America. And you wonder why these people are protected class and they get to do what they want to do. They funded this shit from the beginning. Y'all don't believe me? Everybody watching me now, type in Haim Solomon and look at who he is and look at what he did. And look at who he actually is.
Now, let me ask you something. Exactly what did they fund? The system of or the tangible buildings, the infrastructure? Because I know they didn't.
He funded the war for them to win the war. He gave them the money to fight, to win.
I see what you said.
Even establish America.
Okay.
And then had the banks. They had the bread. Listen, you ain't had no bread. You was going against the Queen. You came to me. I'm chilling, smoking a cigar in my crib with two chicks. What you need, son? I got you, man.
That's still happening right now too. Yeah. And that's why they get accused for funding both sides.
Matter of fact, could you just do this for me? We ain't got to read it. Could you just Google Haim Solomon and just share it real quick so people can see it? I just want people so they don't think I'm bullshit. I'm driving. Just bring them up.
How you spell his name?
To type in H-Y-M and then Solomon.
All right.
Haim Solomon.
Gotcha. Polish-born American merchant, best known.
Wait.
Let me share this real quick. All right.
There you go. Just read the first paragraph.
He's a Polish-born American merchant best known for his actions during the American Revolution, where he was one of the prime financiers to the Continental Congress. Okay. Let's see what you're saying.
Yeah.
This he said out here he helped convert French loans into hard currency by selling bills of exchange on Morris' behalf. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there is no America without them, bro. You came to me. You needed that bread. Now watch this. Go down so they can see where it says early life, so you can see what he was, so that way people can know he is small hat.
He was born on April 7, 1740, Lesno, Polish, Lithuanian Commonwealth, to a Sephardic Jewish family who descended from Spanish and Portuguese Jews who gradually migrated to Poland following the expulsion of Jews from Spain in 1492.
So let me ask you a question. How come when people have these arguments about the small hats, they never bring this name up? How come this name is just so obscure and nobody talks about it? You know why? Because you can't get around this part. The America that you know now, they went to this dude and got the bread, bro. He funded it.
So I mean, what they basically did, and to my understanding, I ain't going off like historical accounts. I'm like going on some Tartarian type spiel. This was a technological advanced empire before the small hats and anybody showed up that we had. But there was a war being fought on this land that culminated to a reset. And here we are as life as we know it. Let's just fast forward to make it quick. Now, I believe that the Civil War ain't what they telling us, though. I think that what came out of that war was the small hats owning America, and the people who won the war, they're now puppets to the small hats forever based upon the loan that they got, and we're like the collateral on the damn board.
And look, Sanchez, when they argue these arguments, right? How come most people never even heard of this man? Why you think that's by mistake? And it's a simple Google. It's a
That's
simple
true.
Google. That's why I be saying to myself, like, no, bro, no. And remember, during that time, they controlled Europe's banks. They did. Those groups, they controlled the banks. That's why Robert Morris was able to go to him to get the bread. So, but that's a whole, but that's just what, so when people, but I say all that to say this because I want to bring it back. Other groups in this country thrive despite whatever America got with Israel. That ain't that's white folks' business. That ain't got nothing to do with our business. The Asians are still thriving. The Latinos is thriving. FBAs can thrive too. Whatever they got going on with Israel ain't got nothing to do with us. Well, we should be thriving in our community under this capitalism. We should be thriving. Don't even bring up Israel. That ain't our business. That's white folks' business. Stay out of their business.
So hopping back to our business, I hear a lot of reparations are not going to Africa, but I'm not hearing reparations are going to blacks. What's up with that?
These are things that, remember what I told you when we was on the phone, there's a civil war going on right now in front of our face, and it's going on in the black community. Because once you start this FBA movement, you got the Roland Martins and you got your aunties and everybody inside the house that don't want to change. When you have to have leverage, you have to, they hear us. They hear the FBA movement. We have to force things in our favor now. I believe that Trump opened up a portal or a door when he got up on that podium and made that statement. That was to help us out. Now, what we gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? But the first thing, Sanchez, you a smart brother. We gonna have to fight against our own people, bro, because they want to be Democrats, bro. They want to help these immigrants more than they help themselves. You see everybody out there protesting against ICE and all this kind of stuff. Man, they not fighting on behalf of getting something for our own community. It's a large portion of us, but it's more of us still on a Democratic bandwagon than fighting for something specifically for us.
Now I will say this: I don't think that anti-ICE mean that you're automatically a liberal and that being pro-right. I don't make you pro-ICE if right. That make any sense, right?
I understand.
Yeah. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm not with I'm with what ICE doing, whatever they gotta do. If you hear illegally, for sure you gotta go. Yeah. But the gun ho stuff on citizens, I ain't with that. Yeah.
I said that on my channel. I'm not with that because Obama deported over 3 million immigrants. But you gotta remember though, Sanchez, and you know this is political theater. I ain't gotta explain it to you. This is part of his stick. This is on stage left. Trump is on stage left. And part of his political theater is to cause confusion and corruption. And not corruption, confusion and what's another word I'm looking for? Fear. Mm-hmm. This is the way he's running it. Remember, Obama was to rock you to sleep because you finally had a black president. So while he was doing all the things he was doing behind the scenes, you went to sleep. Trump come in and fire and brimstone. So now he got everybody woke and angry But one thing about Trump's administration, if this ain't enough to wake you up, then nothing will, Sanchez. This should be waking people up. If you angry, if you're angry, then what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? And that's just it. Black people, when Obama was in there, you ain't asked for nothing. You was just happy because a brown face was in there. Now you got somebody in there that's saying racist stuff, getting on your nerves. What you gonna do about it?
You know what? What if FBA was around when Obama was in there? You know why I think Obama didn't do shit? There was no code to hold him by for him using that black card.
Well, FBA was around because we seen that, but the problem was once Obama came into president, and you had Bill Clinton, when Bill Clinton in 1992 went and played that saxophone, and black people went to sleep and called him the first black president. They drowned Dr. Claude Anderson out. Wasn't nobody listening. People wasn't listening because black dysfunction is profitable for everybody else. U.S. policy is to let these immigrants come in, and off of our $1 trillion spending power, you gonna go and make the money off of the blacks. So now the other groups come here and say, look at those lazy blacks. Think of this, Sanchez. You're not dumb. What do you think a Dominican man, an Indian man, an African man think of the Black American man when he can come into your house and make $1 million off your community in 5 years and look at you and you patronizing him and you've been here forever? You think he respects you? No, he don't. He don't respect you at all. See, we're not using common sense. They're not our fucking friends. They're not. But not all of them are bad.
Yeah.
But it's the way the system is set up.
Yeah.
Because remember,
they incentivize not to respect us. Yeah.
There you go. So, but this was all done bipartisan by both parties. But while we're blindly following the Democrats allow it to happen. So now, when you start asking questions about the Democrats, you get pushback. So what's going to happen is this, and I'm going to say this what I told you on the phone. The Civil War going to be the enemy plays games. I don't even call it the white man. I call it these robots, these machines. They playing games with your mind. For so long, they treated women as second-class citizens. Now we're coming into the 2030 agenda, and you're seeing women coming into powerful positions in Mexico, and women prime ministers, women governors and senators in other countries around the world, right? Women CEOs, women coming into power. They pushing this strong, hardline feminist stuff for the 2030 agenda. Then they give you a woman of color with a white husband that was running for president, right? And all women all over America got behind this woman, right? Except for some white women. The reason why they got behind this woman because they feel like now as a woman, they don't care what her politics are. They just care that as a woman. Yeah. But most people don't know in America, you are victims to the machine. They socially engineer you through pain, trauma to respond a certain way. Well, I'm smart enough to be in the middle. I can see all this stuff playing out. I see that they playing the women. So now watch this. When FBA now starts to go against certain democratic narratives, you're going to have to fight black women. Because black women, as long as they get another woman potential candidate, those black women of our community, 90% of them are going to follow that woman. It don't matter what. It don't matter if they're being misgendered. It don't matter whatever it is, because it's a woman and they want a woman to be in power over a man. But they're victims. We don't understand what they're doing. The metaphor for Christ when he was on the cross was, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. At that time, they was under the persecution of Rome.
Yeah.
It's the same shit being played out on a large scale. So our biggest fight is going to be our own people, Sanchez. Trying to get our own people to change their way of thinking, to start thinking for yourself and doing for yourself when we've been used to taking care of everybody else while nobody gives a fuck about us. That's the story, bro. Look, if you go back to your grandfather, my grandfather generation, we was fighting for everybody while fighting for ourselves. Show me any other group that fought for us the way we fought for them. It don't exist.
That's why I was tripping. Like the whole I show speed shit messed me up, because I was like, now y'all gonna rewrite history and that like you gotta teach black folks how advanced and great Africa is, as if we weren't teaching the world that when the world was shitting on Africa. You know?
and see for me, I look at the I show speed thing the other way around, right? Check this out. I Show Speed is a 20-year-old boy, right? That came up from Cincinnati, Ohio, father from Detroit, mom from Cincinnati, right? Grandparents and stuff is from Mississippi, right? He's traveling the world at 20 years old. He done touched about 60 countries already at 20, right? The life when I was young, the way I am now, the way I think, I'm an urban nerd. I wanted to do that as a kid. When I was in my 20s, I wanted to travel. Well, he's living out my life that I wanted to live when I was his age. He's going all around the world. But watch this. As an FBA, they run into them they crawl into him on their knees. Now, they may not do that to us, but that's still symbolic of how we influence the world. So we can look at it in a negative way. I choose not to. I choose to look at it how they watch us and copy everything that we do. Of course,
and I'm with you on that. I ain't gonna even cap. I like our show, Speed, but I just don't think what I didn't like about people was trying to make the young man a revolutionary, and they was trying to make it like he's doing this to show blacks in America. No, man, Speed do that everywhere. He's a people person.
He was just doing him.
Right. Everywhere he go, you're gonna have a good time with the young man.
See, what it was they was trying to use that to create a narrative.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is he ain't out making a bunch of baby moms. He ain't selling no drugs to our people. He ain't shooting nobody. Listen, he's 20 doing him. Leave him the fuck alone. Why are you even bothering him? He ain't no problem.
And why we even bringing what he doing into our little dysfunctional, divisive bull crap? Because he unite motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
And watch this though. And to take it further, I don't have a problem with Africans on the continent. I got a problem with the ones that come here and talk shit. I want to travel the world. I would listen right now. I would love to say, Sanchez, what you doing, man? Listen, let's go to Tanzania, South Africa, man. Let's go to Yemen. I want to go to all those places too. I don't want to just live in one box. The world is global. I want to travel the world and eat different food, see different cultures. Why not? Who told me
man, for sure.
I don't live in a damn box. So no, I Show Speed is a 20-year-old boy growing up in front of the camera. Leave him alone. He ain't got nothing to do. He don't even speak on these issues. His father was the one that told him he was FBA and not African. So he's irrelevant to the conversation. But that's because people, a lot of the Pan-Africans was trying to use that as some type of catalyst against us. When he never once said anything in favor of them. He just traveling the world. Shit, I wish my son could travel the world like that.
Facts. Hey, and Paul Baldwin, salutes to you. Hey, salutes to you, Paul Baldwin. Hey, George, I'm going to say something about our show Speed that I think we need to bring up too, though. I know it seems like an innocent young man doing innocent fun, but make no mistakes about it. The boy do some real caricatures and minstrel stuff.
Wow, shit.
And
I agree. I agree with you. But
I ain't gonna.
This is my stance on it, though. I don't like that, but I feel like if you'd have put a camera in my face back 20 years ago, y'all probably wouldn't have liked me at all.
Yeah.
I was horrible to my people. I was doing all kinds of wild stuff. Or as demented as we are, I probably would have been celebrated for it. Right? I'd have been called a real nigga. So I gotta allow him to grow up. A lot of his stuff, we live in the era now where everything is being played out on camera. When we was 20, Sanchez, if we had cameras in front of our face every day, what they say about us? You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I gotta let him grow up.
That's true, because I'm gonna say this too. I think he staged a lot of stuff just for reactions, like the picking the cotton and the eating the chicken. Everybody do that, not just him. It's a lot of people seeing, okay, this gonna make y'all Negroes react, and okay, that's free money. Free money.
Yeah, and I don't agree with it, but like I said, he's 20. When I was 20, at my age now, I ain't nowhere. And then I don't like hypocrisy because people want to judge him, but we don't get to see what the hell you do.
And then, but I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. If most of us comes from the streets and we was selling anything to anybody, we did way worse than eating chicken and cooning on
that's
camera.
My point. That's my
and
point.
We did it for cheaper too.
I sold crack and heroin to my goddamn people for a very long time. So who the fuck am I to question him?
Yeah, for Yeah, when you think about what they doing in comparison what we was doing though coming up, it do make them look like saints though. Cause the young niggas that speed age is out here killing shit, man. They out here on drill and all that. So, but we can.
He was in Ethiopia today. I would love to travel the world. I'm FBA, but I don't agree with everything people from FBA say. Other FBA people say. I got my own way of thinking. I don't think all immigrants and Africans are tethers. Only the ones that come here undermine us and talk bad about us.
That's it,
my brother.
That's it.
I still see, for me, I'm a little different because I grew up all my life with a Pan-African way of thinking, right? I still have a global Black way of thinking. I just love my people first. That's all. Love my people first.
And baseline trait, thanks for correcting me on that, man. I didn't think about that. You got me on that one. But we're going to move on from Speed. He said we was poor when we was selling all that. Speed is rich doing what he's doing.
Don't matter. We were still young. He's still young. He's 20 years old. I was young doing that. Let him grow up.
And Speed was poor still doing what he doing now when he was poor as hell, just to be fair. He was still the same Speed. But let's move away from Speed because again, his trip didn't really have nothing to do with FBA versus Pan-Africanism. That was them putting that in there.
Yeah,
because they don't. Yeah. And that just show you need another way to sell us Pan-Africanism other than trying to ride off this young man. I'm gonna tell you what they
did, Sanchez. They start panicking, bro.
Yeah.
They saw what happened was, whenever a known FBA go overseas, whether the Caribbean or Africa, they start crawling on their knees to us. They start falling out and fainting, right? And a lot of Pan-Africans don't like that because it put us more FBA in the light. So they tried to use that as a catalyst to flip it. But no, it's the same story. Now we know when a lot of us go, they don't give us the same attention, but it's just the way that how we always influence the world. And a lot of these Pan-Africans don't want us to focus on ourselves. They want us to focus on Africa. We're not allowed to focus on ourselves. No, I'm bringing it back to ourselves. But like I said, my stance is this. I was one of the first ones 8 years ago online saying that Pan-Africanism was done and it needed to be redone. I still have a global Black way of thinking. I'm just FBA first. But I love all Black people around the world. I just love my group first. Like we all should. That's my stance.
Hey, George, I want to, did we play the full Claude Anderson? Let them see how, like, delineation was.
You want to do it again?
Before, okay, we didn't do it. Okay, yeah, we did do it. Tripping.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, we can do it again for the new people coming in. Okay, this gonna show y'all what he about to show y'all right now is the arguing points Tariq making today, at least about more than 15 years ago, I know y'all. And check this out, y'all. We already saw the video of Professor Smalls making them back in the day, so add this to the collection right here.
Yeah. Just can you see it, brother?
Yep.
All right. Got it. All right, hold on. So we're gonna preface this by saying that those of you that keep saying that FBA is an organization, FBA is something Tariq made up and is a cult, this right here proves you wrong. No, it's not. This image here of Dr. Claude Anderson right here is over 35 years old. Hold on, real quick. Let's do this first. Let's play this lady talking. Let's show these Democratic LGBT and how they lie, right? Real quick first, and why we're going to have a war in our own community. Real quick. Let's do this part first. Hold on. What the heck? Wait a minute.
She said, keep working on our priorities and never give up. We're at a critical inflection point in America, and the moment cannot be more urgent. With Black history under attack and white supremacy emboldened, there is no better time to introduce this bill than during Black History Month. More than 4 centuries ago, Africans were kidnapped, trafficked, and enslaved, forced to build this country under horrific brutality, an economy which we still benefit from today. This brutality, these injustices, these horrors were not things just happened within the culture by osmosis. They were legislated. Today, with Donald Trump, Republicans waging their coordinated and at times unlawful assault on Black folks and Black history, we will not allow that history to be erased. We will not allow it to be whitewashed. H.R. 40 is a powerful reminder of the work that remains and offers us a pathway toward truth.
No, it don't. That shit been on Congress floor for 80 years.
It's not a symbolic gesture, but rather a meaningful step toward repairing the deep structural injustices that continue to harm Black communities today. Whether you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Trenton, New Jersey, or Mattapan in the Massachusetts 7th Congressional District, this is about ensuring that every person has a fair chance at the American dream. We're in a moment of answer.
Yo, I gotta pause. You hear what she just said, Sanchez?
Uh-huh.
You hear what she just said, right? See, a lot of times they play games. How do you have a reparations clause on a Congress floor and you fighting on behalf of African Americans, but then you make that statement you just made? You just turned the whole thing into POC, but most people are missing. I don't. She playing games, man. So now when we'll stand up and say, oh, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? Why is the 2030 agenda talking points being brought into HR 40? See how they playing us? We gotta listen real intently.
Anti-Blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. And while we do the work of resistance and blunting the many harms of this hostile, anti-Black administration, it's imperative that we continue advancing an affirmative agenda for Black America in building momentum toward this critical priority. So today we have a choice. We can continue to uphold an unjust status quo, or we can work actively to disrupt it. We can allow our history to be erased, or we can actively engage in truth-telling.
All right, I'm gonna move over to here, pay attention, y'all.
To deal with that issue. They will avoid it at all costs. Even though in their hearts they know that's one of the biggest problems with Black folk. We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years, approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the #2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being #2. You're going to go down and become #4. Now, common sense, even a third grade education will tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were #2.
This is over 30-something years ago. You see how young he looks? Pay attention.
In answer where you said that you talk about native Blacks. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating.
I gotta play this 82 times for the dumb ones. Now I'm gonna pause. I gotta do it, Sanchez. This is way before Tariq Nasheed was talking this. So now when Tariq Nasheed come and he said, now y'all can stop saying that Tariq created a cult and this no.
Bro, you making Haven Bullets mad playing that damn delineate back, boy. That's burning a lot of folks right there.
All Tariq Nasheed is doing is echoing the sentiments of the elders before him.
That's it, man.
So stop it. And now from now on, those of y'all that's watching, that's in the chat, if you continue on with it, you just trolling and you don't like Black people. That's all it is. Because now we're showing you that he didn't make up nothing. But
you know what's crazy, man? It's people that'll be like, they rock with Claude Anderson and Professor Smalls, but they'll go out the FBA and Tariq too. Them people too. That's why this is good for them too.
It sounds as if you are delineating native Blacks versus someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica or wherever they may come from. The purpose of that is what? Because you're on the surface, it would be like, hey, everybody here that's Black gets treated a certain way. Why are you making that delineation?
Hit pause for.
You know why? Because you see, those people coming in from Jamaica coming in from Africa, they have not been treated like black folk in this country. That's the first thing. And secondly, historically, we haven't had those historical scripts. They come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa. They can go back anytime they want. But the black people in this country have been exceptional people. Nobody's been mistreated, maltreated like that. The black folk are exceptional. They're the only people that came here forcefully. One. Two, they're the only people that denied their humanity. Three, they were the only people that denied a right to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Four, they were the only people that denied the right to participate in government. Five, they were the only people that denied the right to vote. Six, they were the only people that denied the right to have an education. Seven, they were the only people that denied the right to have a business. Eight, they were the only people that participated in every war that this country has had since its founding, but whose mother country has never been against this country. All those immigrants come from countries where they fought America, and they came in. And the seven, that they're the oldest and most patriotic.
Real quick, Sanchez.
Yeah.
See, one thing I know about black people, especially black men, not all, but a lot of these niggas, listen to this stupid shit. Now all of a sudden they want to push the goalpost back. People ain't saying Tariq created anything. They're saying he's the leader of a fake movement. How? How's the movement fake when Dr. Claude Anderson was pushing this, but a lot of the leadership of the civil rights movement and the black church was going over his head because they was pushing these democratic policies. He been out here for the last 50 years pushing this stuff. Been out here. That's how I know a lot of y'all are ignorant. So how can he be the leader of a fake movement that's been around for 50 years? It was just being overshadowed by the black people that was of the Democratic Party. The Black Caucus was overlooking this stuff. This man is well known, was in the cabinet of presidents. He ain't just some Rudy Poop nigga. That's how I know y'all ignorant.
You think the Democratic Party prolonged this kind of message? Because I would say, I ain't saying you wrong, but it would have to be some of the credit given to this whole Pan-Africanism era we went through too. But,
yes, absolutely. You know. Well, what happened was you had a lot of blacks that talked about do for self, and they got pushed out. They got pushed out. I'll even use Elijah Muhammad, as controversial he may be for some people, right? Let's just use common sense. Why do you think they make sure you know Malcolm X and all Farrakhan, but you don't know the actual leader that put everything together? Why do you think they go out of their way to make sure you don't know who he is? They make sure you know who the students were, but not the teacher, right? And then his teacher, because they created a movement. They don't want you emulating that. No, we ain't gonna tell you about them niggas. Matter of fact, them niggas was crazy. We just gonna give you all the bad things. That's what they do. So when you get somebody like a Dr. Claude Anderson, why would they want you to know who he is? A. Philip Randolph. Why A. Philip Randolph is damn near written out of history when he created the black middle class, and he also spoke against the immigrants when they called them West Indians. Why most people don't even know who he is? See, because if you want to go back, he took a lot of the teachings from A. Philip Randolph. And I can show that too. Hey, that's how I be knowing people don't be knowing what they. Go ahead, brother.
Before you hit play, I want to read Mississippi Macho salutes Mississippi Macho. Let's stay on code, FBA family. Love y'all. Love you too, Mississippi Macho, and appreciate the super chat donation. And to Dundale, appreciate the love. He said, too many of us FBA on some BS. I was told I'm Jamaican last night. Lineage goes back to Mobile and Gwinnett County, Georgia. Almost 50, just had oxtails a year ago for the first time. It be your own people shaking my fucking head.
I told you that, but brother, don't worry about that. A lot of our people are sick, man, and we trying to change that mindset, man. We've been, when you deal with a group of people that for last 60, 70 years had to go outside of themselves to get everything we need, we lost respect and trust and love for each other. So we got to redevelop that back with this FBA way of thinking. And this is what Dr. Claude Anderson was trying to save us from. He told us what was going to happen to us. He told us. And those Democrats and stuff, like, please, man. Listen, when he tell the story about what they did to him and how they got him up out of there, man, because he was trying to get us to do for stuff. They was on programs. They was signing contracts, man. They was in with the, man, it's a lot, bro, that go with that, man. It's a lot. But I'm going to bring up A. Philip Randolph after this to show you.
people in the country. Not the Confederates in the South. They're not the most patriotic people waving the Confederate flag. The most patriotic people in this country are black people, native blacks, because you see 99% of all those blacks have been direct descendants of slaves. They've been here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived in this country. They're special people. And because they're special people, they need to be recognized, appreciated, and reparated for what they've done in this country and building this country. They're the ones that built the bridges, the roads, cut the timber, the trees, and cleared the land, raised the tobacco, cotton, indigo. They're the people that fought the great in every war to protect this country. The people coming from Africa or coming from Jamaica, they came here voluntarily. And the most important point on this is if you lump them with black folk, then you give the white society a justification to say we don't owe black folk anything. Mm-hmm. Because you see, the blackness, black people's blackness is more than just color. It is their heritage, it's their history, it's their code of conduct, and more importantly, it is their badge of honor, and it's what it symbolizes the indebtedness that this country has to them. This country does not have an indebtedness to people coming from Africa. They don't have an indebtedness to people coming in from the Bahamas. If you lump black folk in there, you deprive black folk of the benefit, the debt that's owed them. Don't do that.
Listen, and this is why.
And I'm gonna say this. Let me stop sharing. Your boy Rue. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna call it disingenuous when you say Dr. Carlson and Fishback didn't invent tether and bushmeat. And this is the thing where a lot of you guys, and you sound like a tether because you're being disrespectful. Because if you sit here and you got two brothers sitting right here telling you that we told you what a tether is, I just showed you what an elder told you what a tether is, and what you're doing is purposely ignoring what we're saying and only riding on one narrative. Wherever you come from, everybody, your people, wherever you come from, they don't all think like you. You got good people amongst your ethnic group. You got bad people. You got everybody, right? Everybody that's FBA don't think the same. So you may have some people saying tether or saying bushmeat. That don't represent everybody. So don't put that on everybody. The same way, in wherever the country you come from, everybody ain't bad. But you know what I notice about y'all? You never ever call out the actual tethers that come here and talk down on us. You only got a problem when we say tether, and we say it time and time again. We don't have a problem with Jamaicans, Haitians, and other groups. Only the ones that come here and tether on us or talk bad about us, talk down on us. That's it.
And the one thing I gotta piggyback on that. Let me give a shout out to all my channel members with badges, Seafood Stoner, all of y'all. I'm gonna be calling y'all out, but let me say this right. People say, man, that's disrespectful how y'all joke on these Africans and these other groups. Well, the people that come over here and partake in hip hop with us, they want to be part of our black culture, right? We joke on each other and they don't care. So if I go up there, let's say I'm beefing with another black dude, I can put him ashy on my thumbnail and all that. They'll laugh along. They won't say, brother, why you making fun of another black brother like that? I'm just saying, bro, everybody gonna get joked on. We treating y'all equal, right? You want to be part of this shit? Well, we joke on each other like this. That's how I look at it.
And on top of that, the Black American, real quick, your boy Rude, if you said you was, I apologize if you was the one that didn't say it. I thought that you was responding to somebody, so you didn't say it. So I apologize, but that for whoever the ones that was saying it, that was for them, not for your boy Rude. But history shows that the Black American community has been an open door for y'all. So even when you can say, well, y'all made fun of us, we still open up the door and loved on you. We made fun of you the same way we made fun of everybody. We made fun of each other. But one thing you can't say is we never ostracized you. We never told you wasn't included. You guys were always included. So like y'all gotta stop this stuff. And what I don't like is the disingenuous part. Just because somebody may call you a tether or call you something, that don't represent all Black Americans. That represent that guy or girl that said that to you. The same way somebody come here and call me a Kata or call me a Yankee boy. Should I get mad at all Africans and Jamaicans because they called me that? No. Right. I'm gonna be mad at that person because I know for a fact that all Jamaicans don't think that way. So stop with the bullshit.
And what's the white version of a kata? That was always a good question there. What is the white version of a kata?
There you go.
They don't have one. That one right there always bring crickets. Let me ask you about this though. Tucker Carlson, he said that some dude in the FBA society in Florida, and by the way, I want to say why I like that Tucker Carlson video, because if they know what's up, then no Negro can act like they don't know what's good. But Tucker Carlson did say there's a FBA society in Florida, and I think he was putting a little cap on that, and we kind of let him get away with it because the help was more. I don't think that's more important than what the video means.
No, we've been calling that out all over the internet.
Okay.
We called that out. But if you go and listen to the context of the way he said it, you can say you could clearly see that he was just saying, basically the FBA, basically he knows the talking points, but he don't know we're organization or anything. Because then Tucker Carlson said, "Well, I love those FBA guys like that, right? Because they know the talking points, but they don't really know who we are like that. They just know the talking points because they're watching us and they're listening. They're studying us. They studying the talking points, so they use it."
They do make it sound a little corny too. I hope if they go to use them regularly, it's gonna get watered down. So they're not, I hope they don't start doing that shit. But
black people got to remember, because one thing about black people, when Mr. Charlie come around, just stop sitting up in your chair and pulling your pants up, telling your homeboys to be quiet. Stop being so loud, because as soon as Mr. Charlie leave, you go back to doing what you usually do. Fuck Mr. Charlie, man.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? As soon as Mr. Charlie pull, y'all gotta be quiet, man. You start tucking in your shirt.
Man,
you start talking proper.
Listen, you cooking. Man, I go so far as to say we gotta quit telling each other speak correct English when we talking to each other. Because and the reason I say that is this: if I ain't on a job interview or no professional setting, if I'm just among my group, everybody have a dialect or a slang that they speak this language in. It's like taking your shoes off. It's like when you at work talking, you talk different than when you get back to the projects, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
but the thing is, naturally, we don't talk like them. I be telling my wife that I don't talk like them. I talk the way I talk.
Man.
Yeah, we don't talk like them at all.
Yeah, everyone got their own version of English. Like Jamaicans don't say man, they say mun. Some people say, and the crazy thing about slang and ebonics, they love it when it's making them millions of dollars in hip hop. But then, and then that's why we gotta quit correcting it. But I'm gonna say this too, because I know you got to get out of here. I was having a conversation earlier about what does it mean to be on code, because some folks, think that the on code thing kind of makes us look like a cult, like what code is we banned on. So I was trying to simplify that. And what I was saying was just like a simple agreement, because we ain't saying everyone got to have the same religious ideology and FBA and all that. But like if I say, well, if you disagree with reparations, for example, you off code. Now, some people may say, so that's hypocritical because you kicking a person out of FBA because they agree, so that's a cult. But I'm like, it don't kick them out of FBA. They are FBA because that's lineage, but they just operate outside of the what's good for the collective. I was simplifying it. It was a big bill, man. I'm going to re-upload that.
Yeah, we just got to put it this way. This is the way I view it, and I could be wrong. This is just me. I don't think right now we're going to get reparations right now, right? But what we're doing now is we're replanting the seed in the soil. But this time, Sanchez, we're planting our own seeds. We're speaking for ourselves. A lot of the elders of yesterday are dying off, and they lived their time. It's our time now and our children's time to forge reality for ourselves going forward into the future. It's our turn. I often used to say, whenever we talk about history, we got to go back to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and go backwards. Anytime between 1968 and now, we don't even mention it because there was no accomplishments there. It's just been heroin holocaust, crack holocaust, all kinds of policies that destroyed our communities. Big Mama died. They sold the house, took a new mortgage out on the house. We lost. It's just a bunch of losses, for the last 40 years, right? We got to go back. So now in the history in history and time, how will we be remembered? Today, and going forward is our time to cement our legacy in history, and it's where our grandchildren will be talking about the work we did.
That's facts.
We did,
and
so,
I think, yeah, my bad. I think it's.
No,
I was finna say the work we did. Can we say that like all those years when they were saying black folks would never unite or have an identity? FBA is that right now in like what 2000. So do you think that's the greatest accomplishment? Like one of the, if this thing literally grow to be some bigger than what it is and move and the kid.
It could be, because it would be us submitting our time in history. Meaning, if not, we just want to die and we're not going to be remembered. Dr. King been dead forever. Medgar Evers been dead forever. All these people that I could name: Mary Bethune-McLeod, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ida B. Wells. So many of them been dead forever, but we still invoke them and talk about them because they have an indelible mark on history and time, on what they've done to move our people forward. What are we doing with the time that we have? So what we're doing is we're replanting the seeds. And going forward, everything that we should be doing should be futuristic. Everything that we should be doing right now should be for our grandchildren. Stop thinking about yourself. Think about what I'm doing now is planting the seed that my grandchildren and great-grandchildren can live a better life than what I had and had it easier than me. And that's my legacy. When you start thinking about self, just imagine if the elders of the past would have been like, man, I don't feel like fighting for these rights for us. I'm going home and I'm doing me. They didn't do that. They kept plowing on the road. They kept fighting. So what I'm saying is, we may not get it now, but reparations, this just, like I said, for me, I'm not speaking for nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't believe that reparations is for us, Sanchez, is for our children and grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's not for us.
And we laying the foundation for it.
That's it.
Yeah. Then, you know what I would say too? Even if we never get reparations, right? What came out of it was, okay, what are you going, we unified in numbers with, you could turn this into any agenda we decide to shift it to, from reparations to anything later. So I was looking at that too. That's why I was saying you really can't knock it in no way, because that's like saying, well, we don't want black folks to ever come together and work together. And I ain't gonna lie, people of all different backgrounds is behind FBA. It's really big. And so Tucker Carlson, them, they don't mention your grassroots shit until it get big by the people. You know, they hop on late. But yeah, shout out to Mateo.
And real quick, Sanchez, let me say this too. But I want to take it all off of this real quick. I want to take it to
and bring y'all smoke in the chat. The line's open. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to take it spiritual for a second. But unmute real quick, Sanchez, because I want you to get in on this.
Okay, I'm here for sure.
I'm gonna take it spiritual for a minute, and I want everybody in the chat to listen to me. Reparations ain't about money or anything that we asking for. That comes after the fact. Our true reparations is unifying and coming together under a common thought for a common goal, doing something that they said that we couldn't do, undoing the knots that they tied around our brains when they took the shackles off our feet and hands. Reparations is defining yourself, and now coming together strong and forcing their hand to acquiesce or meet your demands, something that they bank on you not doing. Because they told you, people like H.S. Chambliss and Madison Grant told you that you wasn't intelligent enough. Everything that you got because we had to dumb ourselves down from being white in order for you to thrive and succeed. This is what they told us. So real reparations, money is secondary. Anything that they allow you to have is secondary. Real reparations is understanding who you are and what you're not. And that's when you'll get the true reparations. Reparations is going to come when you redefine yourself and no longer acquiesce to who they said you are. You no longer believe the lie, because now they can't control you. That's on a spiritual level. Yeah. As long as they control you on things they create on a worldly level, they're going to get you. The minute you say, man, fuck all that, man. We ain't African American, we FBA. And I ain't even worrying about myself. This for my grandchildren. So you can't offer me nothing.
And then reparations may or may not come, but one thing that FBA does, it stops people from taking advantage of what we built in this country right now at this moment. See, reparations may come later, but we can't forget about the part in the chat room to the chat, like to where the hip hop conversation, the rich history that we need to exclusively claim without no one else. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is beyond reparations
like
too.
The brother said, and the thing, reparations is repairing, but it's repairing in the mind, because that's where everything starts.
Yep.
It starts in the mind. So don't think about money. Don't think about where I disagree with my brother's Tariq, where he say the tangibles, the way tangibles is reclaiming your mind. All the other stuff is physical stuff in the world that dry up and wither away. It's your mind. When you reclaim your mind and you no longer with the bullshit, they can't control you no more. Sanchez, you know that. I ain't got to tell you.
That's why they say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to Bobby Brown and to Mateo Taylor Gang. Whichever one of y'all ready to grab the floor first, go right ahead, man. Salutes to y'all. Y'all got questions or smoke or anything like that for FBA or whatever for the bill? Oh, you have to hit the unmute. But Bobby Brown, let me get a mic check from you real quick, because just make sure you know how to use the mic real quick.
Dude, Bobby Brown got an alien face on his thing? What the hell is that?
Because that's why I got the thumbnail on right now. You never know. Sometimes the trolls get on, they play a video, and then they wait till you. Bobby Brown, hey, unmute your mic, man. How you doing? We know you probably good, but we want to make sure. Mateo, let me get a mic check from you too.
Hey, Mateo had unmuted. Where you at, Mateo?
Yeah, because we don't need no trolling.
Yeah.
Oh man, these two accounts acting crazy. There go Mateo.
Yeah, my bad. Is my voice
Mateo.
like sounding weird or?
Okay, Mateo, you you got any questions? What you got for me, Mateo?
Yeah, I was just wanting to point out the out of Africa theory is, just that. It's a theory.
It definitely is. Appreciate you. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead. Good. Land your plane.
We can come up with our own theories about the origin of humans. I'd like to think humans we simply originated from various points of the earth. Like it's evident there were people here already when, like, people from Siberia or
agree.
Just wherever they came from in Asia.
Can I ask you
the Bering Strait, and they, like, when they came here,
let me ask you a question real quick, Mateo, just to get you on question, because I agree with what you're saying here. I want to get you on question on subject here. Do you agree?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Bobby Brown. There you go. You ain't a troll. Right. There you go.
No, I ain't no troll, bro.
That's what's up.
Mateo, I just it's hard to get on your thing, man, because usually when I talk on other shows, I had to go through put this whole app in thing, dog, to do this. So yours is like different.
You on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes on your phone. Yeah.
But anyway, he can go before me, but go ahead, man.
Well, he was kind of off subject, but I didn't want to interrupt you though, Mateo. I was just going to try to ask you a question that's relevant to what you were saying as steering on subject. But yeah, you can land your plane, Mateo.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Bering Strait migrants came to this land and basically saw melanated people thriving here already, before they came here. Prime example would be the Navajo encountering the Hopi people, but there are other examples. And then Columbus knew what was here already. Basically, Columbus was a Portuguese guy. I forget his real name. Christopher Columbus was an alias, basically created to cover his true identity. But yeah, the 1452 Papal Bull basically stated, it's called Dum Diversus. It stated that the conquistadors are allowed to go and colonize the Americas or anywhere else, and subjugate and enslave the peoples there, and that's why, you know, they brought like Hebrew translators, Sephardic Jews from Spain, expelling them from Spain and basically enslaving or putting
you know what? We're gonna have to get you back on, man.
Into like servitude, indentured servitude.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you back on, Mateo, so I can pick your brain about some of this, man. Seem like you gonna need a little session for yourself, brother. You got a lot of knowledge, man. We will be glad to receive it from you. But I'm gonna go to Bobby Brown real quick. Salutes to you, Bobby. Go ahead.
Hey, bro. What I was saying, man, you and another channel named New Breed Global Truth are my favorite channels.
Oh, yeah,
salutes to New Breed.
Yeah. Like and you guys actually,
me too. I like New Breed.
I thought y'all was the same person when I first started listening to you. You know,
he be calling out the coons a lot too.
Right. But what I was going to get into, man. Now I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm not Trump or Biden, but bruh, and I'm for FBA, don't get me wrong. But when I look at channels like Black Alpha, Demetria K, even some Tariq Nasheed and Phil Scott, dude, every video they put out is, especially Black Alpha, they pander to Trump, dog. I mean, and people can't see, and I'm not saying everything Trump does is bad, but all they videos, they pander to Trump, especially Black Alpha. Go check his videos out. He got Trump on there. I mean, it's crazy. Demetria K, she works for Phil Scott and Tariq Nasheed too. They love Trump, dog. And they don't get up and actually say it, but they pander to Trump. Now, your channel and New Breed, you guys don't do that. Your channel and New Breed, you put down the Democrats, which you should, and the Republicans. But when I look at them channels, they all they do is push down Democrats. And like I said, I'm not a Democrat, but you got to be balanced about it. In your channel and New Breed, you guys are balanced. But when I look at like I said, Black Alpha, Demetria K, dude, they're like 90% Trump and Republican for them. And then and hate Democrat. And I'm like, dog, that's drawing a lot of people away. Like, I'm from New York, a part of New York. And dude, a lot of people, we're not Democrats, we're not on that plantation, but dude, people like them are actually making us hate. They make us hate Trump more. They're making us hate they don't never call out they don't, on them channels, you never hear them at all, hardly talk about white racists on the Republican side. You never hear them. All their videos, especially Black Alpha and Tariq, 90% of their videos is pandering to Trump or bashing, Black immigrants or Mexican immigrants, and which you should do it. But what I'm saying, they're not balanced. And
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to Tariq spent many years calling out white supremacy. That was his moniker, going on to all kinds of shows, arguing with Tucker Carlson and all of them. He been doing that. My thing is, somebody like you FBA, right?
Yes.
So just think of this, my brother, what we said. FBA is not a group. It's 60 million black people with different ideas and different thought processes. I don't agree with everything that Tariq do or Black Alpha. I'm my own person. I'm an FBA. I have my own way of thinking. I got things that I do in my community as an FBA and for my people. And we have core things we agree on, but it's things I disagree with they do. So what those groups don't represent the many. You as an FBA have your own way of thinking. You represent you represent yourself. So these guys are on the internet, but it's millions of FBAs that's not on the internet. So what I'm saying is, but there's people like me that's on the internet and other people that I don't be online arguing with immigrants all day. I'm on here doing work and doing content. So it's not the totality of people. But the thing is, when you deal with, you gotta look at it from this perspective too, my brother. I land here. A lot of the policies that the Democrats have been that's been putting out have been diametrically opposed to the things that we've been complaining about. So they've been catching all the smoke. Remember, we haven't supported Republicans for years. The black community don't vote Republican. We've been voting Democrat. So the Democrats are getting all the smoke because we gave our support to them for 60 years and they turned their back on us. We don't expect it from the Republicans. That's why it's like that way. But we've been calling up, they call them out, but right now the Democrats is getting all the smoke because that's where our people are, and we're trying to get them out of that way of thinking.
And see, like, I'm off the Democrat plantation too, because you're right. We've supported them so long and they have done nothing for us. I don't like them at all. But then you get like Demetria K, and I don't want to single people out, but she had a lady, and I don't know if you know who Demetria K is, but she had this black woman on here last night, turned Chicago red. And we need to vote for Trump and Republicans. And they was agreeing with it. I'm like, what the and see, that's what their shows are all about. And I'm like,
can I say one thing about that too?
Democrat. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
They can't say what we need to vote for because again, different FBAs gonna vote for who they want to. But I think they're trying to frame this thing like a group though, just to your point. I think that may be a problem. I think people like Tucker may start speaking as if we're one group that should do this or do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, real quick, the issue though we got to look at, we can't overlook is this. You have two parties. The Republicans see how disgruntled the black community is with the Democrats.
Yeah.
So they're starting to make concessions to black people to try to lure you in and lure you to sleep and lure you over there. I've been calling this stuff out for a long time. But this is the thing, Bobby. We live in America. As black people, we still going to have to, at some point, come together and do business with the structure. We're not going back to Africa. We live here. So when we come together and we say, well, they just said, who's going to meet our needs? This is the way we want to go. It's going to go either way unless we forge our own party, and you're not doing that. So you're going to have to do business with the devil at the table. You just have to have your own agenda. So that's just where it is. But right now, the Democrats, remember, we don't rock with the Republicans. We've been rocking with the Democrats. They turned their backs on us and double crossed us. But Bobby, still to this day, everything we're saying, our mamas, our aunties, our uncles, 90% of our people are still going to vote Democrat because they still plantation. Not us, but let's keep it real. Our families will. A lot of our people will, unfortunately. So a lot of that smoke that they're doing is trying to bring people off of that way of thinking, because we already know the Republicans are racist, but the Democrats, our people will blind follow that Democratic Party to the end, bro, and they won't let it go. You may have, but you up in New York, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Let it go.
And listen to this, guys. Listen to this, fellows. I have a job. I'm on my job right now. I'm a security guard ahead of it, but I can sit and listen to videos. Yeah, I can listen to videos all night at my job, and that's what I do. I try to, I watch things.
I've been there. I know where you. Yeah.
I love it, man. I can listen to stuff all night. But there's this dude, man, and I'm going to put him on the spot, and I want you dudes to check him out. His name is Big Ward with a W. Ward the Genius. He's a great big 6'5", dark complected, bald-headed black guy from Mobile, Alabama. This dude makes videos. Big Ward the Genius. That's what he calls himself. This dude's saying that the KKK, he's a white man now. Big Ward the Genius. That's what he calls himself. He just put up a video saying he's proud to be a sellout Uncle Tom Coon. No, but this dude, man, he make me want to fight him because I'm a boxer too. I know one of y'all's a boxer.
I'm gonna tell you something about those kind of guys. It's just the same quick get rich scheme that Charleston White did. Is shock value. Don't take it serious, because even when Charleston White got his bag, he admitted it. Like, nigga, I was just fucking around playing both sides.
I was just bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Bobby, remember, a lot of these people are sick, man. Remember, it's the internet. Anybody can come on here with a microphone and just talk. These dudes be weirdos, bro.
Yeah, because this dude, he got me wanting to go whoop his. I mean, he put out a video, man, saying that the black Democrats are worse on black people than the KKK, and he was saying he's no longer
that ain't just his argument. I got so many folks that is black folks is half and half on that one. Half of our people will tell you that.
I think a lot of the Democrats are the KKK. They just put the arm around you and
right.
Like they friend while sticking a knife in your back.
What he's saying, he in his videos, he's saying he's a white man, and he's gonna, the black Democrats that he's talking about are family members type. They don't know no better. Like we didn't know no better.
That's true.
He's talking about on his videos joining up with ICE and going to kill the black Democrats, bruh. Dude. It ain't funny to me.
I wouldn't even watch him, bro. I wouldn't even watch him.
And now watch this. I bet you when he go live, more people be laughing at him than taking him serious. Now, don't it?
I wouldn't even watch him, brother. Bobby,
a lot of people
from him. Don't even give me your energy, bro.
See, more guys like him. It's just a character for shock and entertainment, and people will donate. They won't see. He can't. Then happen to him. If you incite violence, you can go to jail. That's why no one ain't no legalities, because everyone know. I'm guessing right now that it's some parody type shit. I don't think it's a nigga that's got a following. That's
weirdo shit, man.
He got over I think 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he's gonna have a following because he's talking crazy shit. People gonna get on board. But the thing is, if I was you, because of the way you think and how you operate, I wouldn't watch him.
Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I went on his live the other night.
Shout out to the sister Beginnerchi. I like that name. You know, I'm just trolling. What's good, my sister?
Yeah, I went on his live the other night, bro.
What's good, Rhett? Good, man. Welcome back. My bad, bro.
No, my bad. I was in his comments telling him, like, bruh, he kept calling me a sellout Democrat, and he was like, come on down here, I'll whip your ass. So I got on his live, bruh, the other night. I argued with him. He's like, man, I'm 6'6", 350 pounds. I'm like, bro, I'm 5'10", 200 pounds. I fight. I ain't.
You don't want to fuck with no big country nigga who named Big in front of his name, Big Ward. No,
there's a lot of New York.
I'm from Bama.
New York and Philly got all kind of dudes like that, bro, and they can fight. So I mean, it ain't nothing to worry about like that. But yeah, man, it's just like, I'm sitting up at work every night mad at these people, dog. And then he got the nerve to tell me I'm a white man, and he called me the hard N word. And he's like, I'm for white people. I'm not even for that. I'm just like, and see, I don't understand it, man.
Oh, you just hit it. He said what? I'm not even full black.
Nope.
Okay, so there you go right there. That's why we ask people what's your ethnicity when they go to talking crazy.
Yep.
But he's down in FBAs in his videos too, because he's got a few FBAs that actually follow him because he's always bashing Democrat plantation. I don't have nothing wrong with
once you say your ethnicity is what that is, we don't even now we know we ain't finna take your ass serious now. You know what I'm saying? It just disqualifies you all off the back.
But man, but you get a chance, check him out, man, because like I said, out of curiosity, he just put up a video.
I'll debate him, and because I'm from Bama too, and I'll go and talk to him if he on some. But he's FBA, you said?
He's against FBA.
Oh yeah, that's what I was tripping off. Yeah, so that's what I thought you said, man. I'm gonna debate him.
But he's got a lot of FBA on his comments because he's always, bashing Democrats. And I'm with him, I'm for him when he's bashing the Democrats, but then when he says he's going to kill them, and he don't bash the white ones, it's always the black ones.
He's going to end up, he going to get terminated. I'm not even going to go around him talking like that.
Yeah, but if he talking like that, he's not going to be online that long. His channel coming down.
He's been on for 4 years.
His channel, if he talking like that though, in today's time, his channel coming down.
All it take is a few complaints. See, the thing about it may take a long time, but when they go down, it's down. It's down like the feds. Yeah.
But he be going, bro. He be going around the churches in Mobile and taping them and talking
brother,
about.
I don't want to keep no offense talking about that, brother, though, because he going down. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll ask you this though: how can a nigga be? Well, he ain't black. See, there I go. I was just finna say, how can you be black and be against reparations?
He is black. He is black on the outside, but he claims he's white on the inside.
I'm finna lay down all the arguments niggas make about why we shouldn't get reparations. Niggas is lazy and y'all begging as if the reparations conversation stopping us from grinding every day. That's number one. The number two is where the money gonna come from. And dude, I'll tell you right now, it's so much money we can allocate toward reparations. It's crazy. The shit Trump doing now. That's what I meant to ask you, George, too. When all of this, the programs you was showing me on that list, that's money we giving out that ain't got nothing to do with Americans. And that was a long list that Dana had up there. They can
NGOs,
So I know it's one thing at a time, but eventually the conversation of redirecting that toward the proper groups, do you think that'll actually come up? Probably.
That's going to be up to us. That's going to be up to, because remember, in FBA, you got lawyers and stuff. It's not just Tariq Nasheed. You got lawyers in different cities already arguing on FBA behalf. So it's going to be up to us to now get in there and use that 14th Amendment and start leveraging ourselves. That's going to be up to us, man. We got to go political.
Just like Baseline Trey said, stop asking the enemy for things. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting so tired of telling this history. Bro, black folks were not the first ones to bring up reparations. We never asked for reparations. White politicians was using it, and I can't tell. I think Bernie Sanders was one that I can name, but white politicians was galvanizing our people, dangling reparations in their face. And it was ADOS first formed as a group, and these groups was basically saying, quit talking about it, be about it. That was way before we was even saying lineage and shit.
Well, let's take it even further though, Sanchez.
Brother Sanchez, I got one more question before I go for you, fellows. So, being a historian like you are, Brother Sanchez. So were the white Irish the real slaves? Now I know they weren't, but this big ward said we don't deserve reparations because, first of all, the Africans sold us to slavery, but then he turned back around and said it was the white Irish that come here on boats.
All of that's wrong. All of that's wrong.
They were the slaves and we were the servants, and that's
man. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, stop watching that dude, bro. That's all
man.
I can tell you, Bobby, don't watch that dude, man. But I want to say this, Sanchez, because I want to get back.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, my brother. I want to get back to what we were saying. When the government allocated resources for whites to build suburbs, when the Levin family built the first suburbs outside of New York City, and then down here in Pennsylvania, where they start giving them insurance policies where they can acquire wealth through insurance policies and giving them home ownership through the Housing Act. That was a form of reparations for white folks. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Again, that's why I'm saying, like, everybody shouldn't be talking, man. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
You see that for a triple header coming up.
And
Yeah.
so the thing is when they implemented the New Deal, that was the New Deal was part of reparations for white folks, right? Because in the early 1900s, like 1960, they had the Child Act, where children was working in coal mines, and Andrew Carnegie and these people, they was working people to their own people to death.
Mm.
And they started to rebel against
That's
this country.
facts.
Y'all gotta study American history, man. So we ain't begging nothing. That shit is ours. What
Right.
we gotta do is stop thinking that the white man is some supernatural monster devil demon that's red with horns coming out of his head that you can't get nothing that he just like this supernatural demon. No, he's a goddamn man too. You gotta leverage yourself, man, and get things to work in our favor. We live here in America, man. It's things that we can have and get when we gotta go and get it. Stop making the white man just this so-called so powerful entity that soon as I call it the Freddy Krueger effect, Sanchez. The minute you start dreaming and imagining yourself outside of your current situation, Freddy is there to kill you in the dream world. So then you manifest nothing in the physical world. And that's exactly what Freddy did. When your ass went to sleep to the dream world, he knocked your ass off. And in the physical world, you was fucking dead. And that's what the white man has done to the black man psychologically. The minute, oh man, stop asking him for shit. Oh, you can't get that done because he live rent free. He's Freddy Krueger in your fucking mind. So now you can't manifest nothing in the physical world. That's why I told you reparations starts into mental. It had nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with tangibles. True tangibles is restoring your mind to the point where whatever you think that you can get it. Without Freddie being there with them claws ready to kill your ass.
I like that.
Peace and love, brother. Brother George, I did want to say, you are completely right when it comes to like them trying to kill off the whole activist movement, like the real one, and wanting us to know about only certain people. I just learned at 25, I just learned about Asada. Am I saying her name right?
Shakur,
yeah. I'm just learning about her, which is insane. And the fact that brothers came together to break this woman out of prison, we don't have that no more. You feel me? So it's just like they're definitely trying to take away the history of that type of movement, of that type of unity.
25?
Yeah.
So I'll say this to you because you're younger than my daughter, right? What they want to do for you as time go on, because we're coming into the 2030 agenda, and I'm a man that believes that women can lead and can be in power. I'm not a person that believe that women can't lead. I believe that men are the leaders, but I believe that women can lead in powerful positions just as much as men. But what they're doing is they're pushing the 2030 agenda. And because women always felt like they've been objectified by men, they're going to use this against y'all. And I want you to be aware of what they're doing. They're going to put women in positions of power that's going to have policies diametrically opposed to your well-being. But because she's a woman, y'all going to vote for her. Because they're going to lay it out as women are being oppressed. And you should believe all women. So pay attention to is the difference between women empowerment and what they're doing. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not even really like, ever since I turned 18, I never voted. So I'm definitely not giving them no type of
And make no mistake about it. Anybody that's trying to misgender you, that's trying to put men with pickles in position with you, they're not your ally. They're diametrically opposed to you. I don't care if it's a woman. Like I said, I believe that women can be governors. I believe that women can lead and be powerful. I'm not into that. I move on a more spiritual level. But these people, when they push, and I'm saying this to you because you're a woman and you're young, and they prey on you. The same way they prey on our boys in the street to kill each other and throw away their dreams, they prey on y'all to be a part of their programs. So when you look at this women empowerment right now that they're pushing out in front, it's shrouded in lesbianism and non-families and don't have children and it's not essential to growth and development. So we need our women to pay attention to that because you guys are the mothers and the first teachers. So they playing games with us, man. So I tell people reparations is on a psychological level, man. You have to be able to get your mind back and pay attention. I'm telling you, man. I made this term up the Freddy Krueger effect many years ago. They live in your mind, man, and they stop your ability to dream. And that's why we keep blind following the Democratic Party. And when that don't work, we just run over to the Republicans like they gonna save us. When do we save ourselves? When do we say, man, fuck both of y'all, man? Whichever we over here doing us, whichever one of y'all got the best deal for us, then we'll do business with you. When do we do that? They bank on us not doing that. That's what they do. So the real reparations is getting your mind back and forcing their hand through leverage because now you're saying enough is enough. And all I'm saying is I'm 25 years older than you. What we're doing now is for you, and you getting on board, you're doing it for your children. So I don't expect reparations, but I expect by the time you get 50, we'll start seeing it trickle down to your children. So we got to think futuristic. So all of us got to be on board.
I got mad respect for this sister right here, for real. Chat do too. Shout out to the brother Feezy for joining us as well.
Salute.
Salute
Hey, fire topic, man. I've been on this with both of y'all. Like, how you following both of y'all when y'all talk about this? But I did have a question. Like I'm at work, so I'm gonna make it quick. But like, all right, so with the FBA thing, all right, let's say I'm just talking to an average person or even my niggas and shit. We'll be talking, they get it, we'll be talking about white people and shit. But soon as I kind of start sliding the FBA shit in, it's kind of like people just kind of like go blank, like they don't know, like if they want to really be down with the shit, if I'm making sense. So, how do y'all filter out like the right people, to talk to about this? Because I feel like people in it, but they ain't in it. If it makes sense.
How old are you, my brother?
30. I just turned 32.
Just remember this: when you're trying to renew the minds of people, we're trying to bring in something that's diametrically opposed to what they've been conditioned to believe. So in the beginning, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. Just keep on talking about it. It takes time. It takes time. Remember, we was reclassified multiple times. We was colored, Negro, African Americans. It takes time. People have been conditioned to see the world through a certain lens, and they're not going to just give that up right away. That's why I said the biggest civil war in the community is not going to be from the white man or immigrants. It's going to be from your own people on trying to get them to change their way of thinking because they've been conditioned to see the world through a certain lens. Now you have a younger generation coming out, naming themselves, reclaiming themselves, and want to go another direction. That's a problem to the status quo. So what you got to do is keep talking about it. Don't stop. That's all. It's going to be rocky at the beginning.
Okay.
And a lot of our people, they ain't really into politics. So, but another big thing about this lineage, this FBA thing, is just getting people to get fascinated with knowing who they great grandfathers was. Like we can't, in my opinion, we can't trace our lineage back to Africa because it'll be impossible. That if we know what it means to do genealogy, it's like my parents' is 4 people. They parents is 8 people, genetics I got to test, right? Then it go to 16, 32, 64, it keep. So by the time you get to African, we don't even have the technology to do all that testing. But the point is, they don't want us to identify with where we at and find pride because we've always seen the American flag and America as the enemy and stuff. But once we embrace it as, hey, this is my shit and y'all we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Y'all did. And now it's like, it's a whole nother different approach. So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's getting people to tap into their roots here because we've been finding greatness in Egypt and just all these places. It don't really serve us because we don't live there. So when we can tap into, like, it's deeper than just reparations, just knowing that you are the original Olmec man. You are not even going back to the Olmecs, just going back to like 1800s, early 1900s. You'll find out that our people was, gods damn near, bro, building empires, just tapping into deleted history. I'm gonna be teaching a lot on these channels though.
And
but yeah,
people got right now, like the conversation with the young brother and the sister. The most important part right now is people like my age, your age, and then them. We're the two most important age groups for the FBA right now. 25, I would say from about 20 to about 35, and then 35 to about 60, right in between those ages, because we're the ones that's going to move the needle. And the younger people, if we able to get the younger people like them on board, oh, it's over, because they bank on us being against each other and not listening. They bank on that. See, me at 50 to a 25-year-old, I'm an old head now. I mean, fuck them old heads. That's what they bank on. But I ain't your average old head. I come from off the block. So I speak the language still. So the lot of the black clergy and a lot of those uppity blacks don't like a person like me. They don't like Dr. Claude Anderson because he was well educated, but he had the ability to speak to the people on the block. Dr. Amos Wilson could speak to the people on the block. That's why they try to write him out of history. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. could speak to the people on the block. That's why so many people don't know who he is. But he was writing a compensatory code that everybody was taking his talking points, right? So the difference is these black boule people that's part of these parties, they don't like people like us because the young people are more inclined to listen to us than them. So they try their best to get us out the way and turn the young people against us. But if we can teach this stuff and we got 25-year-olds listening, oh, it's a rap. Because then it now goes into the rap songs. It goes into the music. They start putting it on shirts and everything else is a rap. That's the goal. That's the most important age.
Because
see, the 25-year-old young lady, she's gonna get the 18-year-olds to listen to her.
And see all of this new intellectual property that's being created that's relevant today as our old generation pass away. And I gotta remember, like, a lot of our generation didn't own our masters in music and stuff like that. This next generation gonna have something where ain't nobody gonna be able to latch onto it, infiltrate it. Delineation is powerful because let's say the next generation grow up as an individual specified group of black Americans with a flag and all that. They can have leverage in politics and all that. That'll be one of a kind. Like, imagine we didn't have that coming up. So even though we building that right now, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm ready, ready to go.
Me too. I gotta go.
Yeah, I need everybody in the chat room just understand something. Reparations is not for us today. It's for our grandchildren. You got to start thinking futuristic the way that the other groups do. Everything is 20, 30 years in advance. Everything that we do. And we start now, we plant seeds, and we come back every 2 to 3 years to see what our progression is, how we're progressing, how we're moving forward. But the seeds is supposed to be planted now so that the things can benefit. Think about this, Sanchez. All the hard work you watched your grandfather do. The freedom that you got today is because of the work he put in. You can go, coming from Alabama back when your grandfather was a kid, if he got caught looking at a white woman, they'd kill him. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, back in the day for sure.
You can go sniff as much white coochie as you want today and won't get in trouble. Right? It's because of the work that they did. Not saying that we should be doing it, but they put in the work to fight for everybody. So what I'm saying is, but you're reaping the benefits that he wish he could have, but he did it for you. He was thinking futuristic. He bust his ass and worked his ass off until he died to make sure that y'all had the best of what you can have going forward. That's what he did, because everything he did was futuristic.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
But bro, niggas was still hitting white cooch back in the day. They just was paying the price for it.
That's the point I'm making. Nowadays, you can go sniff as much white cooch as you want and you can get away with it now.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I'm saying is, when
You
my
know the
father,
type of dudes who was tapping that snow bunny cooch? It was
That's
likely black boule, like black European type.
bro,
of
Yeah.
course,
bro.
You know the boule were like in cahoots with the KKK, right?
Well, I know that, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, make your
listen,
point. We gotta close out. Go ahead, Joe.
yeah. So all I'm saying is we got to start thinking futuristic, bro. We got to start thinking tomorrow. I know we traumatize people at times, and we think we got to get it now. No, it ain't about you. It's not about you. It's about the people coming behind you. This young lady is 25 years my junior. It's about her. It's about the children that she may have going forward. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about me planting a seed, so that way they can keep it going. That's what it's about. So reparations is about repairing and restoring your mind and getting that Freddy Krueger. Remember, I call it the Freddy Krueger effect. Get Freddy Krueger out your imagination. Get back to dreaming again. Get back to seeing yourself outside of this. Get back to imagining yourself outside of this position that we're in, and we getting all the things that we dream of. Don't let Freddie kill your dreams, because if he do, you manifest nothing here. And the white man did a masterful job at stopping us our ability to dream. And now we lived in his dream, and in his dream is a cycle of death, destruction, and nothing. So the minute we stop dreaming his dream and stop believing the lie, then we'll get all the things that we need. Reparations ain't got nothing to do with money, cars, clothes. It got everything to do with you believing, no longer believing the lie. You are not what they said you are. You're greater than that. And once you start understanding that, oh, everything will be repaired. Done there.
Don't fear the boogeyman.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now listen, that don't mean we ain't saying we don't want tangibles.
Right.
Somebody was asking me earlier. I was like, man, I don't even think they gonna give us reparations. I don't got that much trust in the white man. I just don't want them controlling the narrative of reparations. So
there you go.
You know, but George, that was a fire closing. Yeah, you got it.
Reparations is in our minds. Reparations is for us. Reparations is solely for what they took from us. It's not money. It's not things that dry up and die away. It's actually what they stole from us, and you take it back. When you get that back, bro, they can't deny you nothing. It's hard to see it because we ain't get on that side yet. But they control. Just think about it, Sanchez. We put black boys and girls and black women every day. We have sex and put babies in black women. They have babies. They grow up. Some of them grow up 17, 18, world-class athletes. We turn those multi-billion-dollar children right over to the white man.
Yeah.
We send them right over to all the white school because we think that
that's crazy.
We think that everything he got is better than us when we already in control of our own destiny. But if Freddy Krueger's there to keep killing your dreams, you get nothing. So what I'm saying is, as long as you keep responding to what you are not, you're gonna keep manifesting in that harvest.
Powerful bill, man. The people said we gotta bring Unc back, man. They said we gotta bring George back. Nah, we will, man, for sure. Hey, salute y'all. I got his channel pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure y'all sub up to it now, man, before we get out of here. Shout out to Focus Willis. He said we needed a FBA think tank. UNOG would be great for it. Listen, man. We got many more to come, and I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow the brother on his channel as well, because he puts out this content all the time. And salute. So we out, man. Peace and love, everybody. Peace.